My name is Alan Shihadeh. I'm the Dean of the Maroun Saman Faculty of Engineering and Architecture at AUB. I would like to welcome all our visitors who are from outside of Lebanon here today. Thank you for being with us, and welcome to Beirut, our lovely city, which has seen lovelier times, but is always lovely nonetheless. This year's City Debates serves as the inaugural event of the 50th anniversary of the Department of Architecture, actually of the architecture program, which accepted its first students in 1963, graduated its first class of 10 students in 1968, and we're celebrating that 50th anniversary this year, starting with a series of events, and this one in particular. Since 1968, close to 1,000 architects have crossed through these hallowed halls, many of whom have made stellar careers for themselves and who have gone on to put AUB on the map internationally as a great place to learn architecture. This is also the 20th anniversary. It's many anniversaries that are multiples of 5. It's also the 20th anniversary of the reinstitution of the graduate programs in urban studies, planning and policy, or graduate programs in urban planning, policy and design. I would like to acknowledge the tiny but nuclear-powered unit of remarkably effective, engaged intellectuals who made and run these programs. They are alphabetically Huwaida Al-Harithi, Muna Fawaz, Muna Harb, and Robert Saliba. I don't see Muna Harb. Is she in the audience today? She's traveling. She'll be on her way back shortly. It is to them and to their students that we owe the signature annual event, City Debates. City Debates has brought to Beirut the likes of Teresa Caldera, Derek Gregory, Ananya Roy, Yves Lyon, Ghassan Haj, Abdul Malik Simon, Jad Tabet, Patrick Wakely, and many other luminaries of the city. I would also like to acknowledge the contributions over the years of our partners from outside of the Maroun Saman Faculty of Engineering and Architecture, people who have helped make our graduate urban planning, policy, and design programs what they are today. Those people include Professors Jala Makhzoumi and Yasser Abu Nasser. Every year, I look forward to City Debates as a time that I can be challenged in my assumptions and grow in my knowledge. This is also an opportunity to reflect on the ways our graduate urban programs, their faculty and students, offer a model of engaged intellectuals at work. And I truly mean that. It's an example in many ways for our other graduate and undergraduate programs. On TV and radio, in the streets, in municipal offices, in the centers of concentrated power, be they the offices of Hezbollah or Solidaire, and in fora like City Debates, these faculty and students have consistently advocated for a more livable, sustainable, and equitable cities. They've illustrated their feasibility with concrete and creative proposals that they make and translate to the general public. These proposals didn't only sit on shelves in government offices, but they were brought to people's living rooms, community centers, and even to the ballot box. They speak truth to power in ways that make some of my faculty nervous, but which uphold the central notion that the academic enterprise, if it stands for anything, it stands for making democracy possible. They do this while speaking critically to the literature, helping shape a disciplinary sphere that speaks to urban planning in the global south. We're very proud of this program. So I will stop speaking at this point. I'm looking forward to an exciting and interesting 3 days with you. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Robert Saliba, who has really organized this event. I think many of you have known Professor Saliba for decades for his work in the modern sphere and in making this program and the architecture program itself go forward. So thank you very much for being here, and thank you for your attention.
Thanks, Alan. I don't have much to add after what how Alan described actually the program. What I will do I will welcome you and I will introduce the theme of the conference. Okay, so on behalf of the Graduate Program for Urban Planning and Policy and Design, It's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2018 edition of City Debates, titled Architecture as Urbanism Agenda for the New Millennium. Many of you are familiar with the City Debates history, and the Dean has went through some of its past important contribution. But allow me to say to just remind you about some of the themes that City Debates has dealt with since its start. And you know, some of the topics that City Debates dealt with was master planning in 2003, cultural heritage and the politics of the present 2005, security in the city in 2010, urban design in the Arab world in 2012, rethinking informality, design tactics and planning strategies 2013, and itineraries of urban social movement 2017, just to mention a few titles. So City Debates 2018 is generously supported by AUB's Maroon Saman Faculty of Engineering and Architecture, the Center for Arab and Middle Eastern Study, CAMES, and the Prince Al Walid bin Talal Abdul Aziz Al Saud Center for the American Studies and Research, Kazar, the Institut Français du Proche-Orient at the Embassy of France, IFPO, Heinrich Böll Middle East, the embassies of Canada and Brazil, in Lebanon, Khatib and Alami, Solidaire, and the Royal College of Art, London. Before I introduce the theme of the conference, I would like to thank the people that helped make this event possible. Okay, first my thanks go to my colleagues, Professor Mona Fawaz, Professor Huwaida Al-Harisi, Professor Ghazal Abasi, and Professor Mona Harb, the chair of our department. Also, for her impeccable support, I need to applaud Abir Tayyib, that most of you know. Abir, where are you? Okay. Okay. So, Abir is my long-term personal assistant and research associate who's extensively involved in the coordination of the Architecture 50th anniversary. Thank you again, Abir. For their dedication, my thanks go to Srin Salam, our administrative officer, Siwar Karaki, our administrative secretary, and Rabia Fawaz, our technical senior master. For designing the poster, my thanks go to Professor Reza Abdini, and for her efficient help all through the preparation phase, and especially for the setting the stage of City Debates during the last few days. I would like to express my gratitude to Nada Abu Zainab, my graduate assistant. Nada, where are you? Okay. Also to Ali Ghaddar, okay, who actually was responsible of posting the design exhibition outside. I finally would like to thank all the participants of City Debates 2018 for agreeing to contribute your time for this conference despite your busy schedules. I very much appreciate the effort, and I hope this conference will provide you with an interesting forum to openly share and debate your ideas and reflect on your practice and scholarship. Unfortunately, Professor Philippe Madec will not be able to join us due to changes in plans by the Embassy of France after the events in Syria last week. I am, however, sure that we'll have another chance to host him in Beirut. Before introducing the theme of the conference, I would like to update you on some of the logistics, because that's important for the next few days. There will be a closing dinner at AUB on Friday, 20th of April at 8:30. We will have a guided tour of Beirut Central District, leaving AUB at Charles Hostler Seagate on Thursday, which is tomorrow, at 6:30. The tour will be guided by Amira Salah, the former head of the planning unit at Solidaire. I will make also a presentation on the history of Beirut in the Beirut Souks on Saturday, 21st of April at 10 a.m., followed by a presentation of the BCD model. The students will meet you in the lobby of the hotel at 9:30. Okay, then in the packages that you have, we are including username and password. Actually, they are not in your files. They are posted outside. Okay, for Wi-Fi access. And you have also AUB vouchers for the lunch tomorrow. The students will be available anytime to answer your questions, any questions that you have. Now, I would like to introduce briefly City Debates 2018, then I will introduce our opening keynote speaker. I won't be long, promised. Okay. Over the past 3 decades, design theory and practice, as they relate to the building environment, have undergone an intensive process of paradigmatic change. This has been induced by alternative forms of physical urbanization, increasing ecological anxieties, persisting and expanding informality, weakening of the public sector, diffusion of emancipatory civic movement, and the strong affirmation of peripheral identities. Architecture, which has consistently appropriated the urban at large-scale design territory, is reconceptualizing its mode of engagement with the city, making itself relevant to the numerous challenges brought forward by the new millennium. Buildings as objects are now being critically interrogated in their guise of promotional icons, passive infill, or market-dependent accretion disconnected from salient urban dynamics. They are being repositioned as strategic insertions and imposition, and reframed as catalytic tools appropriating the urban as a dynamic field of operation. At the same time, infrastructure and ecology are being incorporated as essential strategies of design conceptualization, from agents provocateurs as temporary installations to small-scale mini-urbanism to XL modifications. Multi-scale architectural interventions are redefining notions of publicness as well as the tactics of radical urban intervention. Architecture as urbanism is emerging as a viable complement alternative to urban planning due to its responsiveness to the fast pace of urban change and to the complex materiality of the city, as will be argued by our opening keynote speaker, Professor Dana Kaff. City Debates 2018 investigate the adaptive processes of design education to these paradigmatic changes, located at the critical juncture of architecture, the architecture and the urban. It identifies 5 areas of discussions around the central theme of architecture as urbanism that aim to build a comprehensive agenda responsive to existing and emerging urban conditions: the formal agenda, the social agenda, the digital agenda, the ecological agenda, and the pedagogical agenda. Okay, again, coinciding with the 50th anniversary of the BArch program at the Department of Architecture, the conference will provide an opportunity to assess this design department's mode of response to the evolving dynamics of design culture and its attempts at repositioning itself at the crossroads of the global, the regional, and the local. By bringing together international authorities in the design field and ARD alumni and faculty members who have contributed to questioning their fields and who have crossed disciplinary boundaries, City Debates 2018 intends, through a series of keynote talks and panel discussions, to encourage dialogues that take stock of the recent past and chart future direction for new generations of architects and urbanists. For the first time this year, 2 panels are set for speakers from our Department of Architecture and Design and the Department of Landscape Design and Ecosystem Management. Also, both grad and undergrad students are given space to present their research and participate in selected panels. Finally, by relocating the urban discourse from social sciences to the design disciplines, this year's City Debates intention is to respond to our anticipated School of Design, which is in an advanced formative stage.